Good morning, my name's Fiona. This is FF Design Studio 66 and today we're going to be making some projects using, what do they call these cards again? Let me have a look. I can't remember the index cards, that's it. Index cards is what we're making. So here's a couple that I made earlier. This one here and this one here. So this, I'll just pull out the index card so you can see. So on one side, we've got the image that you'll see when we put it in, and the other side's for you to write on. And that just slips in there like so. Now there's not a lot of room in here because I didn't want the card to move around, so that'll stay in place. But these are very simple, very quick, and not my idea. I think the first time I'd seen it was with Luise Heinzl. Yeah, but great idea. So these ones are made out of a bigger card. So for these two, I've made them out of this. I think these are 8 by 5, I want to say. Yeah, 8 by 5 inches. The ones that we're going to be doing together will be slightly smaller. I just thought that these might be a bit big for some people who make smaller journals. So I decided that we would do some that are smaller. And these cards measure about 5 1/4 by 3 inches. And the other thing we're going to have to take a look at as well when we do these is different tabs, different ways we can make tabs to go on the top. So this one was one that I did earlier, and I punched out a few from some scrap paper. That was purely with a whale tail punch, and yeah, very handy to have. But we will look at a couple of other different ways as well as we move through this process today. So let's get started. So you are going to need, I've already got mine all trimmed and cut. Haven't inked these yet, which I probably should. But what you're going to need is the base is 15 centimetres by 9 centimetres, and this front piece is 14 centimetres by 8.5 centimetres. And then you need to punch a 3-inch circle. You'll have to excuse me, I am using both metric and inches and imperial today. So you can just take your hole punch, line it up and punch it out with these ones. This is a 3-inch circle punch. You could draw the circle on there and cut it out as well. This is just some blue cardstock that I had, and this was Blues by You from Couture Creations that I have a lot of still. So I thought I would use this. And so essentially I'm just going to put some glue on here. Probably should ink. I might ink that just around the edges of this one first up, because I haven't done that yet. And I'd like the ink to be around that inside of the circle as well. I'm not worried about the blue piece at this stage. If it needs inking, I can do that later on. It's a bit like watching paint dry, watching somebody ink, so I'm sorry about that. Okay, I'll just do that centre part. Go. Okay, so that one's inked up. Let's put that aside for the moment. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this, what did I say the measurements were? 14 centimetre by 8.5 centimetre piece. And we're just going to line it up onto our piece of cardstock. And we're just going to add some glue to glue that down. Now, I'm not putting a lot of glue on. It will only be right on the very edge. And down along here. As I said to you before, these are quite a tight fit, and they've been deliberately made like that. Okay, so let's... Okay, it needs to come up a bit. I'll put that... Just wiping up that bit of glue. Okay, so that now fits in there. So our next step is for our card, which I've already inked this one, just to make sure we can still get that in and out. Because if we can't, we may have to trim our card down. No, that's going to be a little bit too long, which is fine. Put that back down there. I'm just going to grab my little trimmer out. And we will just trim just the slightest little bit off the end. And we'll re-ink that end. Until we know we've got a fit that's going to work. No, still needs a little bit more. Let's take a little bit off this end this time. Maybe just a fraction more. So as you can see, I've also already added the tab to the top. Let's move these little scrappy bits out the way. Now let's see how we go. Yep, that fits in there now. I might have to put a bit of glue on here again. I think I've pulled at it too much while it's wet. The reason I'm trying to get this to stick down and put the card in straight away is because I would really like to... Okay, let's see, leave that there. So what we need to do is I'm just going to grab a pencil. I need to rub up to that. Where have I put that? Excuse me for a minute, I just need something to rub that bit of pencil off there. There it is. I just want to make sure this fits all the way down. So now that I've got this circle on here, I can now look at what I'm going to put on. So these were images from Art House Whimsy on Etsy. No, it's this one that goes on here. So we're going to put this one on here because this one's got a lot more orange in it. And I felt that it went better with this at the time. So just let me double check and see whether this is dried enough yet. Okay, that will work. Okay, so now I am going to use a different glue for this. Because this is, I've printed this on photo paper. Oops, let me pick this up. So I'm going to use this Tombow Mono liquid glue. It's really, really strong glue. I really quite like it as well. Other than that, you can use fabric glue. You could probably get away with tacky glue as well, as long as you give it time to dry. Okay, let's put that down there. I'm going to add our photo to the centre. Okay, put the glue. I'm just going to put that glue. Because I didn't put this in first and I put the tab on ages ago, so I just have left it there. So by all means, put your tab on after you have put your piece in. So now I'm just going to pop this on here. So this was just a sentiment that I had. I think it may be from, it's either Pink Monarch Prints, or it might even be My Porch Prints. And I just thought I would put this on here. If friends were flowers, I'd pick you. And I'm just going to stick this on, just on this side. I'm not going to put it onto the image itself, because otherwise it'll come out. Just a little bit of glue. Just on this side. And there we have our finished what are they? Index card pocket. So essentially we've now got a nice little pocket. Just making sure there's no glue on that piece. That's right. So now we've got an index card pocket. Put our index card in with our lovely images on it, or look, there's lots of things you can use. I chose to use images. I think in Louise's version of it, excuse me, in Louise's version of it, she used washi tape. I like the images personally. We'll just do this second one, and then we'll look at the different types of tabs we could be making. So once again, this one's not inked, and I would like it inked. So we'll go around and do that. So this was a challenge set by Crafty Junkets Happy Mail Australia on Facebook. And this month's challenge is to use index cards. So yeah, if you feel like joining in, go pop on over or use the hashtag. Let me just double check that hashtag, because I can't remember what the hashtag is for it. Let me have a look. Be under here, I think. No. I don't know. I will find out, and I will put it down in the description box what the hashtag is. And please play along. It'll be lovely to see everybody having a go. And for those people who have only just found out where I am recently, thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. And anybody else who would like to join up, by all means, feel free. And for those who've been here for a while, well, anybody really, if you would hit the like, the subscribe and the bell, and maybe leave me a quick comment, that would be awesome. So we'll just come back to doing this again now. So I have not done the index card for this one yet. So we'll put this together, and then we will look at the index card for it. And then we'll look at different tabs that we can use. Okay. Oops. Let's leave that there. Just wiping off any excess glue so it doesn't get a shiny spot. And we'll pop that aside for a minute. Now let's look at some index cards. Okay, so here's one I did earlier, but I just thought I would show you a few different ways of getting the tab on the top of your index card. Like I said to you before, you've got the whale tail. Another way you could make a tab, we might need a bit of scrap for this. Let me grab a piece of, excuse me for a minute, I'm just going to grab a bit of scrap paper to play with. This piece will do. Okay, so what we're going to do, if we're going to make tabs that are like these ones that fold over the page, not the shape, but just the ones that fold over the page, I'm going to fold my piece in to the depth that I want it. I'm going to trim it off. And now I'm going to grab, oh, so where's that other punch? I know I've got another punch here. Oh, there it is. So I've got one of these angle punches that you use to cut corners on your ATCs and, oh, what do they call them? Just all sorts of different cards. And so on here you've got 3 different sizes. So I'm going to use this middle size one. I'm just going to pop one corner in, and it'll just trim the corners. And now I have a different style tab that I can pop onto my card if I want. So that's another style that you can do if you have one of these punches. If you don't have one of these punches, I will show you another way of doing it. So I'll do the same thing again, fold it over to the length that I want. Just trim it off. So this is just one of those shot cards. Now I've just cut a couple of corners off so that I can create what I want. So this one I'm just going to line it up, trim, flip the card over, line it up again and trim. And essentially we have a very similar look. Top on each one. That one's not very good on that one. Medium. This one didn't chop very well. That's better. So now we have 2 very similar looking tabs with two ways of doing it. Now there is a couple of other ways. If you have an envelope board, like so, there's a couple of other ways you can do this. So I'm just going to turn my envelope board up this way. So I'm going to grab the top of my card, decide on where I want the first punch. So we've got this here. Move it along. So now I have this tab. And if I wanted to, I could just trim off that. And trim off that, and now I have a tab on the top of my piece of card. That's with the envelope punch board. I also have another paper trimmer. Excuse the noise. And it's this one. And this was one that I got from Temu, I'm going to say. So let's move this forward. And now it's in some ways it's similar to the one we just had a look at. Let's grab another card. So I'm going to look at maybe a medium. Oh no, let's go the large tab. Okay, so I've just cut that piece out. Now I'm going to flip it over the other way and do the same thing again. That didn't quite cut like it was supposed to. Let's go that again. And there we go. And so there we have another style of tab. And like with the envelope punch board, just going to cut that little bit out. We can go along. Oh no, I've got 2 cards there, I think. Yes, I do. So like with the other one, we can just go along here and cut that off, and we have another tab that we can use. Okay, so a couple of different styles. Now you've got this one, and then we have this sort, and we have this sort. So there's lots of different ways that you can do tabs. Don't think you have to have everything, all the different bits of equipment. There are other ways around it. So today I'm going to use this one, I think, because I quite like this one. And so let's just ink up our image, ink up our index card to go into our pocket. I'm quite happy to leave this other piece on here. And obviously if you do have an envelope punch board and you're going to do these, and you can just move your index card down as far as you'd like to make your tabs. So this time we've got this style. Let's see if it'll fit in here. That glue should have set up on that. I'm going to trim a little bit off this. Just read that edge. Okay, let's move this out of the way. Okay. So that fits in there beautifully now. Just need to push it down a bit further. I've got a bit of glue that's come up a bit high. Now, using this one is not going to work because I can't see the tab. It needs to go down too far into the pocket for me to see the tab. So you might want to cut your index cards. You might want to use the big ones and cut them down to size. So I think I'll just put another one of these, this style of tab on with just a little bit of glue. And we'll need this to fit into our pocket first before we draw our circle and add our image to our pocket again. Just going to bring that down here, pop that like that. Beautiful. Now we've trimmed it all, we've got our tab on the top. And that's it, and these are designed to be a little bit on the tight side. I know at the bottom here it's not coming right the way down. Nothing much I can do about it, but we can cover that up anyway. So now I'm just going to add our image. Now, by all means, you can add lace and all sorts to these. And if I wasn't doing it on video, I probably would embellish this a lot more. But because I'm doing it as a video, I'm not going to while I'm on screen because it can take up a little bit of time to audition all the bits and pieces I might like to add. Okay, so there's our image on. Just pop her into the pocket. Beautiful. Same again, we'll add our little sentiment to the base of the pocket. Of course I did. So very simple pocket to make. These 3-inch circles that I've cut out of here, I'm going to do another project with these. I'm going to show you how I use these for something else to do. But there you go. Here's our two that we've created here today. And here are our bigger two. So how nice would these be as a gift or happy mail? Might have to change them over because they're two the same. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've got some value from it. Please like, subscribe, send me a message. Yeah, just let me know how your day's going. Have a great one. See you in the next video. Bye.